Welcome everyone, today I'll show you how to crochet this Christmas doily. Here it is. It measures about 32 centimeters in diameter, so let's begin. For this project I'll be using two colors of cotton yarn, red and green. The yarn has approximately 250 meters per 100 grams. I'll be working with a 2.5 millimeters crochet hook, and a smaller hook can also be used if needed, but it's optional. I'll start with the magic ring. Into this ring, I'll work 12 double crochets. The first double crochet is replaced by 3 chain stitches. So chain 3, and then I'll make 11 double crochets into the ring. Now I have 12 double crochets. I tighten the magic ring and slip stitch into the third chain of the first stitch to close the round. For the second round, we will double the stitches count. We need 24 double crochets. Chain 3 for the first stitch. And make one more double crochet into the same place. Then work 2 double crochets into each stitch of the previous round until we have 24 in total. We now have 24 double crochets. I join with a slip stitch into the third chain of the first stitch, and to start the third round, chain 3. That chain 3 for the first double crochet, and one extra chain for the space. Then make one double crochet into the next stitch, one chain, and to the next stitch one double crochet plus one chain into each stitch around. By the end of the round, we should have 24 double crochets with one chain space between each. At the end of the third round, make one chain after the 24th double crochet and join with a slip stitch into the third chain of the starting stitch. Now for round 4, slip stitch into the next chain space. Chain 3 for the first double crochet. Make one more double crochet into the same space. Chain 1. And then 2 double crochets into the same space. Skip the next chain space of the previous round and into the following one work the same cluster. 2 double crochets, one chain, and 2 double crochets. Continue repeating this pattern, one chain space empty, one cluster in the next, all the way around. To finish round 4, make a slip stitch into the third chain of the starting stitch. To begin round 5, we need to move into the chain space between the double crochets. I slip stitch into the top of the next stitch, then slip stitch into the chain space. Chain 3 for the first double crochet, then make one more double crochet into the same space, one chain and 2 more double crochets into the same space. Chain 1 and into the next chain space between the 2 double crochets, work the same cluster. 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, a chain and 2 double crochets. Chain 1 again and repeat this pattern into every chain space around. At the end of round 5, don't forget to make one chain. Then join with a slip stitch into the third chain of the starting stitch. And round 5 is complete. To begin round 6, we need to move into the next chain space between the 2 double crochets. Slip stitch into the top of the next stitch, then slip stitch into the chain space. Chain 3 for the first double crochet, make one more double crochet into the same space, chain 1 and then 2 more double crochets into the same space. Chain 2, 1, 2 and into the chain space from the previous round, make one single crochet. Chain 2 and into the next chain space between the double crochets, work again 2 double crochets, one and 2, a chain and again 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, then chain 2, 1 and 2 and into the chain space from the previous round, make one single crochet. Again, chain 2 and repeat the pattern till the end of the round. At the end of round 6, remember to chain 2 and then join with a slip stitch into the third chain of the starting stitch of the previous round. Round 7 is worked almost the same way as round 6. Move into the chain space between 2 double crochets and repeat the pattern. 2 double crochets, a chain and 2 double crochets. Then 3 chains, and this time place a slip stitch into the center of the single crochet from the previous round, just directly into the center. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then repeat the pattern till the end of the round. To finish round 7, chain 3 and join with a slip stitch into the third chain. For round 8, slip stitch into the chain space between the double crochets. Now chain 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and join with a slip stitch into the next chain space between the double crochets. Then again chain 10 and slip stitch into the following chain space. This round is very simple. We just repeat chain 10 and join each chain space around. To finish round 8, join with a slip stitch into the chain space between the double crochets. For round 9, slip stitch into the chain of 10 stitches. Chain 3, this counts as the first double crochet, and work 11 more double crochets into the same chain space, making 12 in total. Then move to the next chain of 10 stitches and again work 12 double crochets into it. Repeat this for each chain around. After we've made 12 double crochets into the chain space, close the round with a slip stitch into the third chain. Round 10 is very simple. We chain 3 plus 1 extra chain, skip 1 stitch of the previous round and make a double crochet into the next stitch. Then chain 1, skip 1, work double crochet and repeat this across. In total, we'll get 6 double crochets over the 12 stitches. At the end, chain 1 and join into the third chain of the beginning. For round 11, slip stitch into the chain space between the 2 double crochets. Chain 3, this counts as the first double crochet. Make 1 more double crochet into the same space. Chain 1 and work 2 more double crochets into the same space. Then chain 4, skip 2 chain spaces of the previous round, and in the third space repeat the pattern. 2 double crochets, a chain, 2 double crochets, chain 4, and continue like this around. To finish round 11, chain 4 and join with a slip stitch into the third chain of the beginning. Round 12. Slip stitch into the chain space with 1 chain between the 2 double crochets. Chain 3, this is our first double crochet. Make 1 more double crochet into the same space. Chain 1 and work 2 more double crochets into the same space. Chain 2, then make a single crochet into the next chain space of 4 chains, chain 2, and repeat the pattern. To finish round 12, chain 2 and slip stitch into the third chain of the beginning. Round 12 is complete. For round 13, move into the chain space between the 2 double crochets with a slip stitch. Chain 3, this counts as the first double crochet. Then make 1 more double crochet into the same space. Chain 1 and work 2 more double crochets into the same space. Chain 2, work 1 single crochet into the center of the single crochet of the previous round. Chain 2 again and repeat the same pattern all the way around. To close round 13, chain 2 and slip stitch into the third chain of the beginning. Round 14, slip stitch into the chain space between the 2 double crochets, chain 3, 1 double crochet into the same space, a chain, 2 double crochets into the same space, three chains, single crochet into the center of the single crochet of the previous round, chain 3, and repeat this pattern all the way around. To finish round 14, chain 3 and slip stitch into the third chain of the beginning. For round 15, slip stitch into the chain space between the double crochets, chain 3, 1 double crochet into the same space, chain 1, work 2 double crochets into the same space, chain 4, and work a slip stitch into the center of the single crochet of the previous round. Chain 4 again and keep repeating the pattern around. To finish the round, chain 4 and slip stitch into the third chain of the beginning. For round 16, slip stitch into the chain space between the double crochets. Then chain 8, slip stitch into the next chain space between the two double crochets, chain 8, and repeat this pattern all the way around. To finish the round, slip stitch into the next chain space and move on to the next round. Round 17, slip stitch into the chain 8 space and chain 3. This counts as the first double crochet. Work 9 more double crochets into the same space, so we have 10 in total. Move to the next chain 8 space and make 10 double crochets again, and repeat the pattern till the end of the round. To finish round 17, slip stitch into the third chain of the beginning and continue to round 18. For round 18, chain 3, this counts as your first double crochet, then make one more double crochet into the next stitch. Here we should have the group of 3 double crochets, but the third one we will do at the end. Then chain 2, skip 2 stitches of the previous round, double crochet into the third stitch, then chain 2, skip 1, double crochet to the second stitch of the previous round, chain 2, skip 2, and now we will make 3 double crochets cluster. Work the first double crochet fully, then make the next 2 double crochets only halfway. Leave the last loop of each on the hook. They should be together, like a group of 3. When you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all of them at once. Chain 2, skip 2, double crochet to the third one, chain 2 again, skip 1, double crochet to the second one, chain 2, skip 2, and work 3 double crochets to the third one. The first double crochet and the next 2 double crochets only halfway. Then yarn over and pull through all of them at once and repeat the pattern. Now let's finish round 18. I made a small mistake here. I inserted the hook into the wrong stitch. Please count your stitches, skip 2 stitches and insert the hook into the third top of the double crochet from the previous round. Make 1 double crochet. Now you should have 3 double crochets standing next to each other. I will change the yarn color later, so first I need to close this round. To do that, insert your hook into the third chain of the turning chain from the wrong side of the work and pull the last loop of the final double crochet through that third chain. Then cut the yarn and make a small knot. Round 19, we start by attaching a new yarn. Join it in the middle of the space between 2 groups of 3 double crochets, right where we have the section with the 2 chains followed by another 2 chains, exactly in the center of this pattern. You can attach the yarn using any method you like, and you can hide the yarn tail right inside your stitches as you work. After joining the yarn, chain 3. This counts as your first double crochet. Work 2 more double crochets into the same space. Chain 3 and again make 3 double crochets into the same spot. Now chain 2, make a slip stitch into the next chain space of the previous round, then chain 3. These 3 chains should sit right above the group of 3 double crochets. Make a slip stitch into the next chain space. Chain 2 and in the following arch repeat the main pattern. 3 double crochets, three chains, three double crochets, all into the same space. Chain 2, make a slip stitch to the next chain of 2, chain 3, make a slip stitch into the next arch, and chain 2 again. Into the following arch, repeat the main pattern. To finish round 19, chain 2 and join with a slip stitch into the third chain of the beginning of the round. Now we started round 20. Chain 3 for the turning chain. This counts as our first double crochet. And add 1 more chain for the space. Into the next stitch of the previous round, work 1 double crochet. Then chain 1. In the next stitch, again work 1 double crochet. Chain 1. And then into the chain 3 space, make 3 double crochets, placing 1 chain between each stitch. a chain. After that, make 1 double crochet into the next stitch of the previous round. Chain 1, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, and again double crochet into the next stitch, followed by a chain. Here we should now have 9 double crochets total, separated by chain 1 space. Next, under the following chain 3 space, work 1 single crochet, chain 1, and into the next stitch make 1 double crochet. A chain, and continue repeating the pattern around the doily. Double crochet, a chain, double crochet, a chain, then 3 double crochets under the chain 3 space with a chain between each double crochet. A chain, double crochet to the next chain of the previous round, one chain, one more double crochet, a chain, the last double crochet here, followed by the chain, and repeat the pattern till the end of the round. To finish round 20, chain 1 and slip stitch into the third chain of the beginning turning chain to close the round. Round 21, I switched to a smaller hook, but this step is optional. You can continue using the same hook size if you prefer. Insert your hook into the next stitch and make a slip stitch. Now chain 3, insert the hook into the first chain of the 3, yarn over, pull up a loop and pull it through the last loop on the hook, forming a small decorative bump. This little bump is called a picot. Insert the hook into the next stitch and make a slip stitch. Again, chain 3, insert the hook into the first chain, yarn over, pull through to form another picot. Continue this way. Slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 3, and picot. Working 1 picot into each stitch across the group of double crochets from the previous round. You should get 6 picots total. Now that we have 6 picots done, in the 8th stitch make a slip stitch, and in the 9th stitch I also make a slip stitch. Then slip stitch into the next chain space and slip stitch once more into the next chain space. Let's move to the next group of 9 double crochets and we continue the pattern. Into the first stitch I make a slip stitch. From the second to 7th stitch I work picots. In the 8th and 9th stitches I make slip stitches again. Then I slip stitch under the first chain space and slip stitch under the second chain space, and repeat this pattern all the way around. To finish round 21, don't forget to make a slip stitches under the first chain space of the previous round and under the second chain. Then make a slip stitch into the first stitch of the beginning 3 chains. Insert the hook from the back of the work, pull the working loop through, cut it and secure with a knot.